Maido! Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about hybrids. Present o Master Shimashou. This is the 7th year of the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. And I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru wa yamimashou, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you to become a better speaker, to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, and 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 339. 339. Today we're talking about hybrid presentations can be fraught. Presenting online is difficult. Presenting in person is difficult. The new hybrid version is a combination of the worst of both online and in-person worlds for the presenter. We teach presentation skills, and one of the big breakthroughs for our class participants is the ability to get engagement with their audience. In the online world of presenting, this is almost impossible. You become this tiny talking head trapped in a tiny box on screen every time you're using slides. If there are no slides, it gets better. It also gets better if you stop the sharing function as you get a little more screen real estate. The trouble is this feature is clunky every time you want to go back to using the slides again, and the interchanges are not very elegant. If you have the speaker view only function working, then you get a lot of screen ratio focused on the speaker, and that is good. Usually, though, we are using slides, and so it is back to the tiny box for all of us on screen. The real dilemma with hybrid is where some members of the audience are sitting right there in front of you, and the rest are scattered to the four winds, coming in via the hosting platform, be that Zoom or Teams or WebEx or whatever. There are issues with the camera angles, the camera zoom in function, and especially with the audio quality. If the camera is mounted at the back of the room, then the audience online gets a wide shot of those in the room as well as a speaker up at the front of the room. In this case, we are very remote from the people watching from home. This insignificance factor is intensified by the fact we're highly diminished on screen. Stuck in that tiny little box and being presented at a distance to our audience. Our facial expression power is greatly reduced, and even our gestures are not having much impact because they seem so small when on screen. I was giving a talk recently using the hybrid system, And I realized this particular setup was for people who don't know how to present and actually favor those who like to lecture. By that I mean the speaker is there to convey information, isn't thinking how to engage the audience. The camera was mounted on a screen to my right up high. There was a distance between that camera and my face, and if I moved toward my audience in the room, I found I was tracking away from the camera set up for those at home. Don't forget, for those viewing from home, I was doing all of this while trapped in that tiny box on screen because I was using slides. The setup meant I couldn't move much from the spot. And that spot was set behind a podium. Now, I don't recommend moving around too much when speaking because it can be distracting from the message. However, being able to use your full body language is a powerful tool we don't want to negate if we can avoid it, and getting out from behind the podium is preferred. In this case, that wasn't possible. So the audience in the room wasn't getting full access to me as the speaker. The easy out is to ignore the needs of the audience coming in online and just present to those in the room. For those at home, the video presentation is like that for a third party. They are there watching remotely and there is zero connection and engagement with the person on screen. If we go the other way, then we just engage those at home and don't worry about those in the room. That isn't very natural or an easy thing for the speaker to do when all of these faces are sitting there and staring up at you in the room. Find out more. We come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also are doing custom in-house programs. We do them in both Japanese and English. We do them in our super safe classroom and live online. Today's show is being brought to you by, on the 11th of May, we're doing our Leadership Training for Managers course. Brilliant leadership program. Everything you need to know about leadership is in this course. Everything. Not a great deal of philosophy about leadership in this course. It's really about the practical skills. Delegation, handling mistakes, innovation, planning, doing the performance reviews, coaching, communication. All the hardcore stuff you really need. On the 9th of June, we'll be doing our Winning with Relationship Selling program. This goes through the whole sales cycle from beginning to end. And it really focuses on the human connection with the buyer. We will buy from people we don't like. But actually, we prefer to buy from people we do like. How do you become likable? This is what you'll learn in this course. Also, on the 9th of June, doing our Dale Carnegie course. It's our flagship program. 12 weeks long. Whoa, 12 weeks long. Well, yes, because this is about mindset change. This is about behavior change. This is about becoming a leader. It's becoming more concise and clear as a presenter. It's about dealing with your stress. It's about really getting those incredible people skills that people enjoy working with you, enjoy following you. Not easy. Takes time. On the 11th of June, we will repeat this course again. Brilliant program. If you've never done it, this is the basis for the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a course you do not want to miss. Go to our website at www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Lots and lots of value there for you. To do better in Japan, email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have nearly 2,000 there for you on Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show on Japan, every Monday, Tokyo time. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And on Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from small and medium enterprises all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro TV Show. Get my best-selling books on business in Japan, the Bible on selling, Japan Sales Mastery, Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, Japan Presentations Mastery, plus Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Torenin de okane wo muru ni suru wa yamemashou, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. We have to accept that so far we cannot easily get this to work perfectly when using two competing mediums. Having said that, we can try and improve on it being a disaster by a couple of tweaks. If the camera is close to us, then regularly switching our attention from those in the room to those at home is possible. We just look straight into the camera and we can speak directly to this segment of the audience. We can make our point to this audience and then switch back to those in the room and make our next point. The key is to look at the camera and not the screen. We just treat the online camera as another member of the in-room audience. Eye height is ideal for the camera mounting, so adjust it if you can to get that perspective. Make sure the audio quality is well served by having a good microphone set up so the people online can hear you. If the in-room audience is under 30 people, then you can get away with not needing a separate microphone for them. The better solution requires some preparation. Have a monitor at the back so the speaker can see the remote audience and also themselves, with everyone equally trapped in their tiny little boxes online. The slide deck is also being shown through Zoom, etc., so that the remote audience can see what is going on, while the live audience has a screen in the room they can see. Have the speaker fitted with a pin mic so they can move and not be trapped behind a podium or a desk. Have 3 video cameras set up. One zoomed in on the speaker for a tight shot, and one for a wider, more full body shot. Have another set up at the front of the room to capture the shot of the audience. This requires a connection to a control box where the camera angles can be switched easily by a controller. The speaker now only has to engage the live audience. The camera angles are set up from the in-room audience perspective so that those at home get the same sense of the presentation as those present. They're getting the video of the speech live, and all the speaker has to do is engage by looking straight at the cameras while giving the speech to help the remote audience feel included. We spend 6 seconds each time looking at our live audience members, and we just do the same with the 2 cameras facing us as if they were also audience members. The setup I had for my recent talk was not satisfactory, and I felt both the remote and in-person audiences had been cheated. I also felt my personal brand had been tarnished by this less than satisfactory experience. When we're invited to speak, we have little control over how the host arranged the venue and the equipment. One of my takeaways for next time was to engage the hosts more in depth on how they're going to handle this hybrid medium presentation. If they are not going to do it in a way which builds or at least maintains my professional brand, then I would decline the offer to speak. I might offer to give 2 talks, one for those in the room and do a separate one for those at home. That isn't always possible, but as a speaker, tasting the bitter ash residue of a failed, half-baked presentation isn't great either. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.